So I went to a Smashing Pumpkins show last night. It was really good. The set was made up of only songs from his first five albums. And my only complaint about the entire show is Billy's shtick. And I know that my few followers know that I'm not a fan of shtick. And so I couldn't tell whether he was in self-parody or not. And I'm sorting that out in this video because it helps me process my nostalgia and like the feelings I went to the show with and came out with and how it was intended to revive those feelings you had. It was the show 2 days after the 25th anniversary of Siamese Dream. And it's one of my favorite albums of all time. It's what I consider one of the best albums of all time, or that era. You know what I mean? Certainly during the grunge era, that Siamese Dream was up there with Nevermind and The Downward Spiral. You know what I mean? So, and he always compares himself to people like Chris Cornell and Soundgarden. He always talks about Soundgarden like they'll blow you away. And I was like, dude, I was listening to Siamese Dream and Down on the Upside. Like, one right after the other. I consider them harmonious. So, and it was cool. Like, before Billy and James and the rest of what is now Smashing Pumpkins came on, they were playing Audio Slave and Chris Cornell, because I think that they were friends. They must have been. And the only thing related to my channel, the only jokey truth thing related to Billy I can think of is the whole thing when he went on Howard Stern and talked about how he saw a shapeshifter.
I've always been a believer. I'm not a skeptic by nature. I'm skeptical of systems like the government and the entertainment business, but I'm not skeptical of people.
Yeah, you're kind of like one of those conspiracy theory guys. You went on Alex Jones' show.
I wouldn't many times. I wouldn't call it conspiracy.
Do you buy into Alex Jones and all that?
There's so much information. It's hard to say what is true or not. What I don't mind is I don't mind that there are people who want to know the truth,
right?
And they want to hammer away to get at the truth. I don't see that. To me, that's a democratic principle. I mean, you ask questions, I ask questions. It's totally fine.
Right.
It's when people start saying you can't ask a question that's weird to me.
Because Alex Jones told me there's a race of lizard people, and I just that's when he lost me. You know, I just
well, not to add to the conspiracy, but I have had paranormal experiences in my life that sort of lend itself into that category.
No shit.
What do you mean?
I won't talk about it.
You got to tell me something.
No, I can't.
What happened to you?
I can't.
Were you abducted?
The lizard people got to you?
See, now here we go.
No, wait a second. William Patrick.
I need to get George.
Listen to me.
Takei or Takai? What's his name?
Grab your cock.
I'd rather have him look at my cock right now.
No, so wait a second. William Patrick, you cannot drop a bombshell like that. What happened? Give me a for instance. I want to know.
I'm turning red. I'm so embarrassed.
No, don't be embarrassed. Come on, share. Why not? We have to discuss these things.
Let's just say I was with somebody once and I saw a transformation that I can't explain.
The person transformed into something other than human.
Yes, I saw it.
Were you on drugs?
I was not. I was totally sober.
Wow. You
were talking with. I'm asking you some questions. If you were talking to someone,
yes,
and you're having a conversation
yes,
like we are now,
yeah,
this close, and the person suddenly, not in a hallucination, they said to you, "Look, something's going to happen here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to morph into something else,"
mm-hmm,
and you're like, "This is ridiculous."
That's not how it happened.
Give me a please. I want to see this.
Imagine you're doing something and suddenly you turn around and there's somebody else standing there.
A different human.
Sorta. It's hard to explain without going into detail. I'd rather not go into detail.
Yeah, I know. And then I'm telling my friends this on the car ride on the way home, and they are exploding with laughter. And it's so funny, and how like I'm showing them the video, and they're like holding their mouth, trying not to laugh. And I'm like, you know, if Billy saw you doing that, I bet you he'd be like, yeah, I know, it's a big fucking joke, right? It's really fucking funny. Like, that fucking shape-shifting bounty hunter from the X-Files runs the show, and you think it's a big fucking joke. But anyway, this was about nostalgia in the 90s. So, Billy is sort of in like this self-critical phase where he's like, and so he's got this really, and God damn it, if it's not self-parody, it's pretentious. So I'm going to use the word pretentious. He's got all these pretentious stage materials. First of all, that cut Darcy out completely. That was getting annoying. Like he's only showing the remaining members of the band, and Darcy was cut out, obviously deliberately so. And so, like, he's got this, like, nostalgic reel of all the old music videos, like Tonight and Today, and there's no Darcy, but there's everybody else. And so that seems like, again, a dick move that he would do just because he's Billy Corgan, because he can get away with it because it's his tour. He puts that shit under his eyes that looks like he's been crying eyeshadow all night. I don't get that. Where he looks like Robert Smith has been sobbing into a hanky all morning. He looks like Depeche Mode through a tantrum. I'm sorry, Billy Corgan. You put on a great fucking show. And the energy was there. And the magic was there for me. I know it doesn't seem like you were feeling it. And it doesn't seem like the energy was in the room. And he had to do that thing where you keep throwing your arms like come on, get up, move. So like it's like make noise, and everyone's just doing the dance from the fucking Simpsons. Aren't they? I even saw people in the crowd swaying like that on purpose so that you would notice them. And you didn't. They were swaying in like the whole Homer Simpson smiling politely sketch that you did. And then remember, it's like how all the millennial or all the Gen Xers move like that because of your music. Like that's the joke. That's the energy your music inspires. So that's how they move to it. And it was so weird that he's like, come on, move. It's a barn dance. This is Skinner. No, it's not. It's and it's the people like kind of zombified. That was so I had to make this video where I'm like, I don't think Billy gets it. I don't think he does. And I'm talking to my friends where I was like, he was with Jessica Simpson. He was? Yes. What, you don't remember that? And like, he's a wrestling promoter now. What? Yes. You've never seen his bald head with the big headphones on? Like, no? Really? I'm like, I thought this was all common knowledge. I like, he puts it out there. And me and celebrities, but it's weird that I respect Billy a lot. And I'm not going to do the dance monkey dance thing for him because again, at the end of the show, he keeps going, I appreciate you. And you know what, Billy Corgan? I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate your gift, and I appreciate the sound you gave to the world. Like it's as far as I'm concerned, you can't reproduce it without him. And that's a gift. And so it's just like, drop the shtick after this, okay? But please, like, not some variation on the shtick. Like, it would be nice if he just looked like Jack from Red Letter Media and tinkled on his piano and grew up. Because, and I was going to end it there, but I have to say that there is this stark contrast between Billy and James Iha, and it literally just hit me as I'm doing this video that they represent Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Where there's James Iha, who, if you put a harp in his hand in heaven, he'd be perfectly happy. But something somewhere along the way made him sad. And so kind of like in a Poe style, like in a Poe-esque fashion, he's got to get it out that way. Like his love for the comely Helena. And then there's Billy, who is the Infinite Sadness. Who is Wednesday Addams on a bad day. And that's like, they were kind of making fun of each other, and like James knocked over his mic like it was the old school, like, woo, rocker days, and Billy goes, it's not the 90s anymore, James. And of course Billy's playing Stairway to Heaven, and he's like, does anyone remember laughter? I fucking don't. Dun, dun, dun. And it got a laugh, it got a big laugh, but I'm like, that is so you.